Hello Africa, welcome to another episode of African Student Voices on AAU TV. And AAU TV is the voice of higher education in Africa. And today we are coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. My name is Chimaima Deladam Doche and I'll be your host. Today we are discussing bridging the academic industry divide. And I have here with me lovely guests who I'm going to introduce after the break. But don't also forget to follow us on our social media handles, Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube, AAUTV_African Universities on Twitter, and AAUTV Official on Instagram. And today my costume is proudly sponsored by Afarewa Styles located at Teshi. You can check them on their IG page and order yours. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back from the break, and this is African Students Voices on AAU TV, and AAU TV has always been the voice of higher education in Africa. And today, as we all know, our topic is bridging the academic industry divide, and I have here with me lovely guests who I'm going to give a minute to introduce themselves. I'll start from the lady.
Hi, I'm Richeal by Dogbey, a third-year student of the University of Ghana.
Okay, yeah, welcome, Richeal.
And I'm Zacson, Elvis, Norgbey, a national service personnel at the University of Ghana.
Okay, yeah. All right, you are both welcome.
Thank you.
So, as we know, we are discussing bridging the academic industry divide. And first of all, let's just delve deep into the discussion. So, I'll start from you, Richeal. In your opinion, what do we mean when we talk about industry? What is your opinion on that?
So industry, when we talk about an industry, is a part of the economic sector where a group of companies have related business activities.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Zacson, what do you think?
I would say, just as you said, they are economic institutions. It's in the economic sector. And they provide or supply goods and services to the nation or individuals. Yeah, so that is what the industry is.
All right, so still on you, Zacson. On what basis do you believe there is a connection between academia and industry?
You know, academia and then the industry are separate institutions on its own.
Okay.
But then, just because of the change in society of late, we have some kind of connection between academia and then the industry, in the sense that because of the demands of the industry currently, academia needs to revolve so that it can also assist in the industry section, so that the two can collaborate in solving problems in the nation or in the world as a whole currently. So that is what I think, that there is a connection between academia and then the industry.
Okay, what do you think, Richeal?
Okay, just as I said, there's always been a connection between academia and then the industry. Okay. Because we have institutions, you study, and just as when you are done studying, you move straight into the industry. Yes. So the, academia becomes the training or preparing ground for you before you get into the industry. So I think they have the connection. Okay.
Richeal, still on you. Has our current educational system been beneficial to our industries?
No, it hasn't.
Why do you think so?
So to be frank, what we are studying in school is different from what we're actually going to do in the industry. Like it's totally different. I feel some of us are going to school because our mates are going to school, or we want a degree. Yes. Because we have, let's say, the University of Ghana, for instance, let's take the population, about 30% are into medicine because they know they want to do medicine. And about 70 are in the human resource, are in the humanities. And with them, it's like they're just doing the course because they've been given the course, and at least they want a degree. So when they are done with school, they are done. They don't have any, soft skills, any career goals. They are just going to school because they have to go to school, and they end up becoming unemployed. So yeah. All
right, so Zacson, let me come to you. Since you are in a way already in the industry, let me say, do you think the current educational system has been beneficial?
In a way, it has been beneficial, and in another way too, it has been detrimental. Okay. Not all sections in the educational system only learn the theoretical aspect of their courses.
Yes.
Some also are allowed to do the practical aspects of the job or of the course. So it helps them when they come out of school. So I'll say in some sense, there are some benefits to some people, and some people too, they just do the theory and then they don't have any idea on what to do in the industry. Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. So, you know, Zacson, many people believe that the majority of what we study is unrelated to our future employment opportunities. Do you share the same?
Oh, yes, I do.
How is it?
You know, looking at the educational system from
the basic
education, I read about 9 courses in primary.
Okay.
And then reading all those courses, I've not been directed to a particular sector.
Okay.
For me to have my focus there. I kind of do everything, and then I'm not centered to one particular thing. So after school, I get into the tertiary institution, and then I'm still doing just reading. Like we are just reading everything, studying anything that comes across.
Okay.
Meanwhile, what is on the field is different from what we are studying.
Yeah.
So after you learning whatever you learn in the class, and then you go to the field, then you find yourself wanting. Because I have some colleagues who go on internship, even though they study in the class. Internships help them to how they call it, practice whatever they study in class in the industries. When they go to the industries to go and practice, they find themselves wanting, because what they have studied in class is not what they are practicing on the field. Okay. So what we are actually studying in our education system is it contradicts what is on the field.
Okay, so there should be some form of adjustment.
Yes, please.
Okay, I see. Yeah, really noted. So let me hear from you, Richeal. What do you think?
So I think he's said almost everything.
Okay.
Just as he said, what we are learning in school is just theory. At least practicals. At least maybe you are studying. At the end of the sem, maybe this class, you go on intern, you go on the field, you do this. But if it's all theory, reading books, we are done with school. We because we don't have the experience. And then nowadays the industries, they are not taking you without any experience. You need to have an experience. And if you don't have the experience, you're not going to be employed. And this also helps. This also counts, because if you are doing theory without any field work, you are doomed. That's the only thing I can say.
So Richeal, let me be on you. What factors would you consider personally before hiring a graduate into an organization if you were an employer?
Okay, so a graduate meaning the person already has a degree, right? So I'm going to look in. I'm taking into consideration soft skills, maybe whether the person has any leadership skills. Maybe because right now tech is like tech. So maybe how is the person good in Microsoft Word, whether the person is good in Microsoft Word, Excel, if the person is like how literate the person is when it comes to ICT. Also, and then the person shouldn't just speak English, understand, and aside English, another language. It could be French, it could be Spanish, because the world is evolving. Yeah, we are going somewhere, so you also have to move. And then I think, and an experience. I'm not going to give maybe 5 years experience. No, maybe between. Just any experience is fine, because someone who doesn't even have an experience can do more than someone who has a lot of experiences. So I think these are all. But when it comes to the experience, I'm just not going to give a fixed a
year for that. Okay, Zacson, what would you do? What other things you would consider before hiring someone into your industry?
So first of all, I'll consider the person's ability to communicate. You know, communication skills comes in the industrial work. If you are not able to communicate, you would have a problem in your economic activities.
That's true.
And then secondly, just as you said, you should have soft skills. You should have some IT skills as well. And when we talk of the experience, surely you should at least have some kind of experience. Having your 4 years in school doesn't mean you should just be learning. You should have some kind of experience. Go to maybe the industries, do your internship and all that. I can maybe look at that and accept that, but not to talk of maybe 2 years or 3 years like experience, just as some industries do, because they feel that a student or a graduate should have worked for a number of years for them to be acquainted with the kind of work they do in the industries.
Okay.
And then that is because the reason why they do that is because they have realized that the academic structure is not helping. It's just theory they do. So they are scared that when they employ students into, or the graduates into their industries, they would find themselves wanting because they do not have any kind of experience.
Okay.
So that is why I think they demand for a number of years experience.
Okay.
But for me, just as she said, not everybody who has had experience is able to slack at the job, the job. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So somebody who does not have experience too would be considered in a way.
That's true.
It shouldn't be a priority.
Okay. So you feel that the experience aspect of the industry shouldn't be that long or difficult to get. Okay, we are really having an interesting conversation, but we'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we'll delve more into the discussion. Stay tuned. Welcome back from the break, and this is African Students' Voices on AAU TV, and AAU TV is the voice of higher education in Africa, and you can also follow the conversation on our social media handles, Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube, AAU TV _ African Universities on Twitter, and AAU TV official on Instagram. You are welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about some factors that you would consider before hiring a graduate into your organization. And moving on, Mr. Zacson, what are some of the solutions to bridging the gap between academia and the industry?
First of all, I would like to suggest that there should be an alignment of the academic curriculum to the industry requirements. Just as I said earlier, the world keeps changing, and then the demands of industries also keeps changing. So the academic curriculum should be structured in a way to solve the issues that we have in the industries, because at the end of the day, we'll surely go out there to work in the industry, and would use our knowledge that we got from studying in school to solve the problems that the industry is facing, or the nation is facing as a whole. So from time to time, the curriculum should be revised, and it should be in line with the current need of the industries.
Okay. Richeal, what do you have to add to that?
I also think the higher institutions, the universities, should also organize or make it mandatory for every student, if not anything, at least one internship. A student must do one internship. That's the only thing I want to say. And then they should also I also advise they keep bringing up career weeks, career days to help the students, and then also promote soft skills, maybe, and then keep sending them emails. We are students, we don't always, because maybe you might call them as a whole, they won't come, but you pressuring them through emails, they'll be like, oh, why are they worrying me, let me just go. So you going, like they going for the, so I think these can help.
Okay, so you said something about internship, so let me still be on you, Richeal. Would you agree that internship should be made mandatory if you are considering internship as a solution to this?
Yeah, it should. Just as I was saying, if not anything, at least once. If not anything, at least once, because we need the experience. Because in your CV or in your resume, you have to write your years of experience, or you have to state that you have an experience. So if not anything, at least once.
So you think the 3-month internship will be of help, since it's it's quite not really a lot of
I think 3 months or probably a year, because for instance, we have students who are in school, they are studying because they still don't know what they even want to do. So maybe I'm studying this course, and I really do not know what I want to do. Me interning in this company, checking where my my strength, going to another company, I think it also helps, because if not anything, 3 months or a year maximum.
What do you think? Should we make the internship opportunities mandatory?
It should be mandatory. Just as you said, you need experience.
That's true.
In your resume. You can't go and be applying for a job after school, and then you do not have anything at the experience section. So you should at least have a year experience in internship.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think most universities do that.
Yeah, that's true.
They ask the students to go on internships and then learn on the job and come back to school, write a report and submit. Some schools do that.
Okay, so still on you, Mr. Zacson. How can students who work part-time on vacations to fund their tuition fees take advantage of this internship opportunities?
You know, to my understanding, internship could be done free, or you get something in return. You be paid in return. And then students who cater for themselves, they pay their own fees, meaning they work part-time at the same time they work during vacation. They are still gaining experience.
That's true.
In the industry.
Yes.
So I don't think that should be a problem. To enforce them to do their internship, they can consider that to be as their internship they are doing. But then they are getting something in return. Some others will be doing the internship and then will not get anything in return. But these people are doing this kind of job because they need to cater for their fees when they come back to school. Okay. So I think that shouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay. Richeal, what do you think? What do you want to add to that?
So yeah, I also think it shouldn't be a problem. Just as you were saying, some are working because they need the money, and for internship, it's either you get paid or you don't. So they are gaining the experience, and that's all that matters. And then even in your CV at the end, someone is supposed to reference. So they could go to the person they are working with and then make the person because everything I think the whole point is you gaining the experience. So it's whether be it internship, be it working part-time, you are gaining the experience. And so far as you're going to get someone to reference.
Okay. All right. So then how does bridging the gap between academia and the industry benefit the students, taking the students, higher education institutions, and also the industry as a whole? What do you think?
So with the students, first of all, they gain the experience.
Yes.
They get to know where their strengths are. They get to know where their weaknesses are, what they can really do. Yeah. And then with the institutions, this is where they get to collaborate with the industry to help the students, because the students are their main priority, to help them to grow. So I think it's also going to help the institution. And with the industry, they're also recruiting, they're also looking for people. So they're collaborating with the how do you call it, the higher institutions, or collaborating with the academia is really going to help them, because at the end of the day they're going to get capable people who are really fit for the job.
Okay, Mr. Zacson, do you have anything to add to that? Our students, higher education institutions, and
I think I would add just a few things. Just as you said, the benefits to the students is that they'll gain the experience. And then to the higher institution, there's something I wanted to say about the solutions to bridging the gap. And I think I can still say it here. When we solve this problem, the institutions or the educational institutions benefit a lot in a way that their faculty members can also partner with these industry experts, and then they can learn. They can sometimes also be exposed to practicals, where when they come to school and they are teaching their students, they can also bring out what they have encountered in the industry, and then the students will also learn from them, because as I said, the world keeps changing. So when senior members, when I say senior members, I mean when the lecturers visit these industries, or they call upon them to come to the school to have field works together, they also gain experience and then keep teaching the students in the current trend, industry trends, so that we do not only do the things of the past. We don't learn things of the past only. That is to the institution. And then to the industry, without having students interning or gaining experience before they go to the field to work, the industries organize training sessions to keep the people abreast with the work, and then ensure that there is a speed up in productivity. All this is a cost to the industry. So if we are able to bridge the gap between the academics and then the industry, this will not be a cost to the industry again, because the students have already come to the field to intern or to gain experience. So once they are out of school and then they go into the industry to have their permanent jobs, then the industry will not be incurring other costs, such as the training cost for training.
Okay.
So I think these are the benefits.
Okay, that is an interesting one. We are almost coming to the end of the show. Still on you, Mr. Zacson. Lastly, what further action can our institutions do to bridge the gap between significant intellectual abilities and insufficient job experiences? What do you think the institutions can do?
Insufficient job experience. Intellectual abilities. Let me see. Some students, to my understanding, I'm not too sure about it though, but when they talk about the intellectual abilities, they are abilities that people have to memorize, to reason, and then to being able to solve problems. And then the second part of the question is
the insufficient job experiences.
Insufficient job experiences. So someone being able to memorize, to reason, and then to come up with solutions to problems, and then yet the person does not have the opportunity to practice all these. It stays with the person.
That's true.
The person is not able to solve the problems in the industry or in the nation as a whole. So this is what I understand by the intellectual abilities, and then the
insufficient job experiences. So what can be done to bridge this gap? Allow people to share it.
Institutions should solicit for slots. Right now, getting jobs is very difficult.
Very difficult.
Part-time jobs, very difficult. And even internships, when students go out there to look for slots for internship, they do not get the opportunity.
That's true.
So you can find a student doing his internship at a boutique at the roadside. It happens.
Okay.
But then the institutions can be of help to the students where they have slots in these institutions. During vacation, they just give them a letter, you go there. Because of the understanding between the educational institution and then the industry, you are being taken in at ease, and then you can be able to practice whatever you've learned in class to bring out your problem solving abilities, and then gain the experience as well.
So let me come to you, Richeal. What further action do you think can be done to our institutions to bridge the gap between significant intellectual abilities and insufficient job experiences?
Okay, so with the institutions, I think they have to, a platform should be created for the students where they can, exhibit their talents, exhibit their skills, what they have. Because some people have it and then they've kept it within. They don't know how to bring it out. But through these programs, they will be able to exhibit, they'll be able to come out. And not just the university as a whole. I think the faculties, they should do it faculty based or departmental. It should be done in departments, because if they do it like that, you know the number of students in your department.
That's
and
true.
If you make it mandatory, everyone is going to come. But if you do it like the university as well, I don't think they will come. And because people have potentials, I realize we all have something, but it's hidden. If you don't bring it out, no one is going to know. And just as he was saying, slots should also be given. There should be a collaboration between because you giving us the letters, we go and then they bounce us back. You go, some even you go and they tell you, we'll call you, and you wait for the call, and then 3 months. So I think they partnering with these companies will also help. So maybe in this department we are taking 50 or how many, and these number of students, because I think it will help. If you don't do it like that, we are still not going to get whatever we want to get. So I think these,
Okay, thank you very, very, very much. It's been an interesting conversation.
Lastly, just to cut you short.
Sure.
Talking about the last question.
I
think the institutions can be of help in a way that we have some sections in the university where they need human labor to help in running the university. I think in some universities people are laid off every year just because maybe there's no money to pay them. But we have students who are willing to gain experience. There are labs on campus. You can get a student to intern in the lab, just to gain the experience. Even if you don't give the students anything or like any monetary gain or anything, the students would, he or she is willing to gain the experience. That is the motive. So we shouldn't always look out for institutions outside the schools. We should look at the internal opportunities we have so that we can gain the experience. That is all what we are looking out for.
He has a point.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on the show. It's been an interesting conversation. So we've heard that our schools should collaborate with industries in order to bridge the gap between our academic and the industry. It's been African Students Voices show on AAU TV, and AAU TV has always been the voice of higher education in Africa. And today we spoke about bridging the academic industry divide, and I had here an interesting conversation. Don't also forget to follow us on our social media handles: Association of African Universities on Facebook and YouTube, AAU TV _ African Universities on Twitter, and AAU TV Official on Instagram. And my outfit, once again, is proudly sponsored by Afariwa Styles. You can locate them around Teshi to get your nice outfit. See you same time next time. And I'm always Jemima Madala Demdoche, your host. Bye.